Hi, everybody. I'm Dave McClelland, and I want to welcome you to this week's edition of Hot Rod Magazine Television. On this week's show, we're headed to the drag strip where, believe it or not, it's time for the Altered Wheelbase Challenge. Who's going to win? And we're going to have some hot rod tips for you. This week's cover story on Hot Rod Magazine TV is all about a cover girl, Miss Hot Rod 2004.
Oh, today we're shooting the Miss Hot Rod model search for 2004.
Today we're going to be shooting 5 girls for Miss Hot Rod. We're going to bring in 5 girls, shoot each car with a girl.
We've got some brunettes and we've got some blondes, so we've got something for everybody.
I believe it's a competition, and they're going to have us all in the December issue.
I think this is the first time that a national publication has done this online.
The Hot Rod fans need to go online. People that buy the magazine will be able to go online and vote. And then whoever gets the most votes gets the April cover
2004 edition.
and Miss Hot Rod, I believe.
Whoever wins, I mean, everybody's looks great today, so.
Well, Miss Hot Rod gets a chance to appear not once, but possibly twice on the cover of Hot Rod.
It'll be awesome no matter what.
Plus, to be voted on by millions of her adoring fans on HotRod.com.
You know, most Hot Rod shoots are shot outdoors. For this, we brought it into the studio. We've set up a black background. We'll park the cars in the background. So we can really accentuate the lines in the car, really bring out the color, and also light the girl. You know, really make her look as good as possible.
Well, we've got 5 cars we're going to be shooting with today. One is the magazine's Crusher Camaro, a 67 Chevy Camaro.
We had a yellow Camaro that we were working with, and so we chose a tiger pink and purple little lingerie dress. And then we also did the J-Lo booty panties and the bra, which I still have on.
This isn't for the Hot Rod car. We're definitely trying to highlight the girls in this shoot.
I mean, I get out there, I get to put on little clothes and be hot and sexy and just have a great time. It's not a hard job, it's an easy job, and I enjoy doing it.
We've hired professional models, and the really good models will get out there and really, you know, kind of throw out a whole bunch of different poses, different looks, and I'll just let them know if it's something that I think looks good to keep going that way, or if it's something that's not really looking good at camera. I'll kind of direct them in certain directions.
Oh, Wes is an awesome photographer. I've worked with him before, and I actually thought maybe he'd forgotten about me, but apparently he gave the editor my name and contact to get me to do this.
At this point, we have a pretty good working relationship, and it's not too difficult, actually.
The second car is the Berger Camaro Hot Rod Test Car. It's a 2002 Camaro, special edition that was designed especially for Hot Rod Magazine. This
is one of my outfits that I sometimes wear out, and I guess he just thought it would look good against the red. I don't know, I'm comfortable in it. What a great job. I just come here and I get to hang out with cool cars and cool people and get paid and get some great pictures after.
The third car is a 1932 Ford Roadster.
How can you beat having a Hot Rod in Hot Rod Magazine? I mean, that's kind of the notion it was all founded on. And
I have never seen anything like it. I mean, the color, we went through a lot of trouble trying to match something to it, kind of keep it, you know, boom, it's like as bright as it really is. I'm a college student, so I'm like racing out the door every day, you know, sweatpants, tank top, nothing, and to see myself all glammed up on a, you know, on a awesome car. It's just like, yeah, okay. It's totally different. It's a complete other end of the spectrum for me, but it's nice.
This is probably the best day of my life. Looking forward to being here.
You have to sit for about an hour and get your hair and makeup done. After that, we have to go through, pick out an outfit that looks good, and then just do all kinds of poses, all different ways, different angles in the car, everything. So there's a variety to choose from to pick the best one.
And the girls will probably shoot 300 frames of each girl, and then later on we'll edit it down to our favorite picture, and that'll end up in the magazine.
I've shot with him a few times now, so we kind of know each other, and so it's been really great today. I mean, everything has gone simply, quick and easy, hopefully. Not just for me, hopefully for everybody else too.
I'm hoping that my car is picked for the ultimate Miss Hot Rod car selection. Can't say for the girls, but I'm going to vote for her several times myself.
The fourth car is a 2003 Mustang owned by X2C Motorsports, which currently is the world's fastest Tremec-equipped Mustang.
Well, I've done some other photos with Hot Rod Magazine before, and I guess they just picked me out and liked my car. There's no doubt that the color helps, but Linda was amazing on the car. She went perfect with it, and the outfits were amazing.
I've worked with Hot Rod once before and had a great photo shoot, and this one is no exception. I brought a bunch of different outfits today, and we're staying away from bikinis. Sorry, guys. But really cute, sexy, girl next door type of outfits. We chose the colors to kind of contrast with the car, but not too much to complement the car, because it is Hot Rod Magazine. And we just picked a couple different outfits. I chose this white one, and also, well, the photographer, of course, helps pick it out. And we chose a white one, and also yellow top with little jean shorts. Very cute ones, very cute outfits.
It's a quick car. It's a lot of fun to drive.
Hey, later in the show, we'll see more of Miss Hot Rod 2004. Right now, time for a quick break, and we'll be right back. Stay with it. Welcome back to Hot Rod Magazine TV, where it is time for Roddin' at Random.
Welcome back to Hot Rod Magazine TV. Today, we're playing with a V6. Well, thanks to Flowmaster, we now have the availability of prefabricated bolt-on exhaust systems for 98 to 2002 V6 Camaros and Firebirds. They're really neat. They're 2.5-inch all the way through. They have a built-in resonator for the tuned sound that we all like. The piping is mandrel bent, so they're not kinked. An 80 series muffler and a pair of polished tips for an attractive appearance. And best of all, it comes with all of the clamps you'll need for an easy installation. The first step is to remove the existing pipes. The first piece in the system to be installed is the resonator. Now I gotta say, this is one of the strangest looking resonators I've ever seen, but what it does is take certain sounds out of the frequency and amplify them for a more pleasing exhaust note. Though the kit is very convenient to install, you do have to remove one end of the Panhard bar so that you can fish the tailpipe over the axle. With the Panhard bar out of the way, now we can slither the over the axle pipe into position. It takes a little bit of finessing, but one guy can do it. The Flowmaster American Thunder exhaust system is a direct bolt-in. There's no welding. You can even reuse the factory rubber hangers. Now that the over-the-axle pipe is in place, we can reinstall the Panhard bar. Our system includes a Flowmaster 80 series muffler for an aggressive exhaust note and that famous Flowmaster tone. Now you got to remember, when you're installing a system, never tighten the muffler clamps until the entire system is mocked up. That will allow you to do some adjustment. Once all the pipes are in place on the car, you want to be sure that there's at least 1/2 inch of clearance to prevent rattles. Now, make the rounds and tighten all the clamps. And that's a V6. Those 4.6 Mustang guys are going to love this car when it goes flying by. Isn't that right, Arnie?
This episode of Hot Rod Magazine TV is brought to you by Nitto Extreme Performance Tires and by Flowmaster and by Universal Technical Institute. Welcome back to Hot Rod Magazine TV. It's the time you've been waiting for when Hot Rod TV shows you how to use some Hypertech products in your car.
The goal of power tuning for an older car without a computer and for a newer car with a computer is the same, but the way you do it is radically different. With an older car, what you have to do is play with jets or metering rods to adjust the air-fuel ratio to try to optimize this fuel curve. And then you got to do the same thing with the distributor. You have to go in and change the weights and the springs in the distributor in an attempt to get the spark curve as close as you can.
Over time, as onboard computers became the norm on vehicles, a much more precise path to control became available to the high-performance enthusiast. A power programmer that Hypertech builds provides that kind of precision.
You connect the power programmer to the vehicle's diagnostic port, which in most vehicles is located under the dash on the driver's side. And the power programmer will read out the memory of the factory's computer.
And then there is a very user-friendly interface that the consumer can use or the installer can use to put that power tuning as predetermined by Hypertech into his particular vehicle.
At all times, the factory file is still saved in the power programmer, so you can reprogram it back to stock. We're shaving off around a second in the quarter mile and gaining about 8 miles an hour through the quarter mile. You know, the Duramax diesel, the new Chevrolet diesel pickups, it has a really impressive gain, around 90 horsepower and 163 foot-pounds of torque over the factory's tuning. With less than 5 minutes of effort and not getting your hands dirty, I don't know how it can be beat.
The consumer can be confident that when that tuning is installed, if he goes through a state inspection and maintenance program or any other type of process where his vehicle is examined to see if it's been modified.
We go straight to the California Air Resources Board because if they approve the product, then the EPA honors that. So we go straight to CARB and have our product certified to meet the California standards. Street rodders like to change rear axle ratios and things like that, or tire sizes. The power programmer will still work and allow them to change those functions and accommodate for such changes.
So the performance level of these vehicles, of these engines that are already head and shoulders above what they were before with the new technologies can be enhanced further by the use of power tuning.
But it will also allow the user to do different things like raise the top speed limiter of the vehicle to match factory approved speed rated tires. It will allow you to increase the engine's RPM rev limiter for an increased operating range. And if you have an automatic transmission, you can adjust where the transmission shifts. And that's very popular with trucks and people that are using their vehicle to tow.
The onboard computers have allowed us to turn power tuning into an economical product that can be packaged and sold over the counter, as opposed to the old style where you actually had to go to an engine dynamometer, put the vehicle on the dynamometer, spend maybe 3 days to power tune that engine. We changed it from a service to a simple product that you can buy economically and install yourself.
Don't go away. When Hot Rod Magazine TV returns, it's the Battle of the Funny Cars, early style. Stay with us. Welcome back to Hot Rod Magazine TV. Back in the very early days of funny car racing, well, the cars themselves, they look kind of funny, primarily because of their radically altered wheelbase. They'd take the rear axle and move those tires up a foot or more up into this quarter panel area. And up at the front of the car, they'd do exactly the same thing. The advantage gained? Well, added weight and more traction for those early model race tires. Well, we're going to feature 2 modern-day altered wheelbase funny cars duking it out at the track.
We're here at Los Angeles County Raceway in Palmdale, California, and we're about to have a best 2 out of 3 match race between 2 Match Bash cars. Now you may wonder, what is a Match Bash car? A streetable replica of a 60s vintage steel-bodied altered wheelbase door slammer funny car. And the thing is, today we're going to have our Chevy Wilshire Shaker with its 502 rat motor take on the Mr. Rich Performance King 472 cubic inch Hemi. Who's going to win, Chevy or Mopar? We're going to find out.
I just got a call from Steve out of nowhere. He said, Steve Magnante, Hot Rod Magazine. I'm like, yeah, I remember you. How you doing? And he's like, you want to come down and race me for Hot Rod TV? I'm like, sure.
It's kind of exciting, bring back a lot of memories. And I used to race them way back in '63. We started in '64.
They've done extremely well mocking them up, copying what they used to be, I guess. It's nice to see the altered wheelbase sport come back.
The Ford came out with the Thunderbolt. Their version of the economy car, and Chrysler's answer was the altered wheelbase car. They moved the rear wheels forward 15 inches and the front wheels forward 10 inches, and worked real well.
That means when the car goes into motion, nearly 100% of that weight goes to the rear tires. They bite hard and the car hooks and scoots down the drag strip.
They have duplicated everything that was going on back around 65. It's really nice to see what they've done with it.
Who do you think's going to win? Well, they're pretty evenly matched, but I'm going to win.
Dead heat. I really don't know.
Oh, I have no idea. You know, match racing, it could be anybody.
You just don't know till you actually run the cars side by side.
Well, I guess that's drag racing. My first pass was my last pass. I lined up against Mr. Rich in his Hemi-powered Plymouth, did my burnout, felt something kind of go clunk under the car. Hey, we're racing, got to keep going. So I backed up, staged the car. When I launched, something went clunk, and that's always bad. Shut the car down. Turns out what happened was the pinion had so much traction, the rear axle, the tires, pinion rose up, broke the housing where the tube is welded together, and when that happened, the U-joints kicked out, and we're done for the day. The thing to do now is to weld it back together, but not today.
If any Chevy would have stayed, I wanted it to be that one. I liked that car. Had a pretty good time, though.
We used to have things like this happen in the old days.
I'd blown them up right out of the box. I've got a few of them, you know, and man, I'm real pleased with the way this ran.
This is something that they're going to be more and more of, just like you go to the Hot Rod reunion and you see all the nostalgia dragsters and cars. And I hope they do the same thing with the funny cars, because it was an era that was a lot of fun.
8 3/4.
Well, our day is over with, but you know what? Our 502 makes so much torque we actually broke our axle. I think that's cool. You know, Mr. Rich might think his 472 Hemi motor is that strong. We got a 502 rat motor. We're going to fix this thing and we're going to be back. It ain't over.
Hey, that's one thing that's never changed in drag racing. Parts breakage. Tough break, Steve. Don't go away. We've got more coverage of Miss Hot Rod 2004 when Hot Rod TV returns. Hot Rod Magazine TV is brought to you by the Edelbrock Corporation and by Jet Performance Products and K&N Performance Filters. Welcome back to Hot Rod Magazine TV. It is time now to meet the final contestants for Miss Hot Rod 2004 and to find out how you can cast your vote.
And rounding out our field is a custom 53 Merc.
Oh, there's personality. Of course. I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but it's definitely personality.
The car is a 1953 Mercury Monterey.
The color of the car complemented my first outfit, well, because it matched. I had this groovy, retro, fuzzy, kind of like touch me blue on, and this says touch me, doesn't it?
The car's super touchable. People want to touch it, they want to rub up against it. They're not quite sure what the finish is. Is it primer, is it paint? Does it need to be cleared, color sanded? And people just want to come up and touch it. And my dad thinks it's cool. It reminds him of his blue suede shoes he wore in high school, so my dad really likes it.
I don't like to hold anything back. I like to just be myself. I was photographed in a couple of different outfits. I had this very funky retro fuzzy thing that kind of matched this beautiful Mercury hair, and then I had this on as my second outfit. It wasn't very hard to work with Wes at all. He was a great photographer and a good director, and I think that we had a good thing going on. I'm very animated. I love the camera.
Well, some people would look at this and say, wow, what a job. You get to pick 5 beautiful girls to come and shoot with a bunch of cool cars. And it is pretty cool, but it's also a lot of work, a lot of planning. It was quite a quite a feat to get everyone here all at the same time.
Overwhelming. Definitely a lot of fun. Good group of people to work with, and I've had a good time being here.
There was a lot of energy in the place. It was real nice.
You know, no drama, no, photographer's great, the camera crew's great. I had a wonderful time with everybody.
It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
I really like shooting, and I definitely want to come back.
The voting for Miss Hot Rod is going to be conducted exclusively online at hotrod.com. There'll be more information on the website on how to vote for your selection for the 2004 Miss Hot Rod.
When I look at 5 girls, they all look different, so I think anybody could be the winner. But so far, all I've seen is brunettes today, so I'm hoping that maybe they'll go for the blonde.
I'll just be sitting by the internet every day, just voting for myself every day. No, I'm just kidding. No, just enjoy the pictures and, vote for who you like best.
Come on, you guys, vote for me.
Get online and vote for me. And if you don't, well, you know what they say about a redhead's temper, right? You don't want to see me mad, boy.
Yeah, I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote several times, probably online. And
Vote for me because I am the average girl who grew up with old cars and love them to death.
Everybody that votes for me online, if they contact my email, I'll personally email you all back.
Funny, she never answers any of my emails.
Well, this time in the show always seems to roll around when we're out of time. I want to encourage you to stop by your newsstand and get the latest issue of Hot Rod Magazine, and be sure to log on to hotrod.com. I'm Dave McClellan. We'll see you next time right here on Hot Rod Magazine TV.
Y'all.